Hi guys, good morning. What do you think about this weather we're having? Wasn't expecting snow today. My apologies for not having our video out on Thursday. We had some technical difficulties, so what I recorded was not able to be shared. So we're going to try it again today using a different app. Today you'll need a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap at home, you could definitely use a belt or maybe a kitchen towel rolled up the long way, a hand towel rolled up the long way, whatever works for you. Obviously your roller, and then if you don't have a melt ball at home, you could use a tennis ball as well. We'll begin with our foot treatment. Remember, when I stand up, even my face might be cut off, but it's set up for our floor portion. All right, let's get started. Stand up tall. And we're just going to begin by taking a couple of full breaths. Inhale fully through your nose. Exhale, lower it down. One more time. And then from here, just adjust your posture so that you're standing tall. We align our ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, and hips over feet. Close your eyes. Allow yourself 2 or 3 good breaths. I'm not looking for a deep breath, but more of a breath into the diaphragm. You feel your belly rise, ribcage expands, chest is last to rise. And while you're breathing this way, I want you to take a moment to notice how your feet feel on the floor. Take a moment to scan the thighs, noticing if you feel anything different today. And then maybe do a scan of the upper body. Do you feel any pain or stiffness, anything new today? Allow yourself another full breath. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. And we'll begin today with our right foot over the melt ball. Remember, if you're using a tennis ball, please feel free to have a seat in your chair. The ball's a lot bigger. It's harder to do some of our movements standing. We're going to begin by gently rocking side to side. The purpose of the gentle rocking is to find tolerable pressure. Remember, we don't ever want to feel pain when we're doing this. So let's keep what we feel is tolerable pressure in the center of that right foot. Pausing for a full breath. Step back slightly with your left foot. Weight goes into the left foot as you decompress the ball, and I want you to lift your right foot, take the ball right behind the big foot knuckle or the big head of your foot. We come forward and compress. This is the position point for your neck. And then after your next breath, you're going to transfer the weight into the left foot once again, lifting your right foot. Take the ball to the outside edge of the foot, the 50-yard line. We have a small arch on the outside edge, and that's where I want you to place the ball. When you look down, if you have a smaller ball, you should see a bit of blue sticking out. Go ahead and compress your ball. Weight into the left foot as you decompress. The ball ends up right in front of your heel. We come forward with our weight. Remember, you want to keep tolerable pressure. And we'll start our gliding motion. You're simply moving your foot side to side. And I want you to start to bring your foot forward to get the ball to the back of the heel. Once the ball is at the back of the heel, we continue our gliding, but you're pulling the foot towards the body so that we end up in front of the heel again. Once you have the ball in front of the heel, we pause for a moment. Our toes stay down as we create our shear. It's this tiny little wiggle. Pause and take a breath. Weight into the left foot as you decompress the ball, and I want you to take that ball right underneath the big foot knuckle or the big pad of the foot. We come forward with our weight, and then with one clean sweep, you're going to take your foot all the way to the left. We lift our foot, reposition it so we can swish with the big pad, and you're going over all 5 foot knuckles or all that whole pad area. One more time. And then like a little kid scribbling on paper, light pressure, quick movements, no rhyme or reason, just roll, 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 which should feel really good at the foot. Remember this quick movement, the friction, it helps create fluid up the leg. And then let's stand on our foot, take a breath. You'll transfer your weight into the right foot as you place the center of your left foot on the ball. Again, we gently rock side to side. Make sure you feel balanced. Finding the tolerable pressure. Keep what you feel is tolerable pressure on the left foot. Let's pause for a full breath. This position point in the center of the foot is for your diaphragm. We step back with our right foot and once again, decompress the ball. We lift our left foot. Take the ball right behind the big foot knuckle. Let's come forward and compress. Weight into the right foot as you decompress the ball. Let's lift our foot and take the ball to the outside edge of the foot. We cover the ball up and we gently compress. This position point is for the upper back, thoracic region. And then once again, weight into the right foot as you decompress the ball. Ball right in front of the heel. Come forward and compress. Pausing for a breath. This is for low back. And then we start our gliding motion. And once again, keep that side to side action with consistent pressure as you start to bring your foot forward. Once you're at the back of the heel, we'll start to pull the foot towards the body. And once you're in front of your heel, we pause. Create that shear. It's a tiny little wiggle. Pause and take a breath. Weight into the right foot as you decompress the ball. Lift your foot and place the ball right underneath the big foot knuckle. We come forward and compress. One clean sweep, you're going to take your foot to the right, going over all 5 foot knuckles. Lift, reposition, squish, and swipe to the right. Let's do 2 more like that. Come forward. Consistent pressure as you move your foot to the right. Last time. And then once again, little kids scribbling on paper. Weight into the left foot as you transfer. 1 more on the right. And then last time on your left. From here, we can take our ball to the side. And I'm going to have you start with a kneeling position today. If it's not comfortable for you to sit on your heels, absolutely go ahead and sit crisscross applesauce. But we're going to begin seated tall. Take both arms up. Exhale, lower it down. Another option is to sit on your foam roller. And if you have yoga mats at home, please feel free to grab those. Last time here, breath in and lower. Shoulder rolls up to the ears and down. Exaggerating the motion. Last time here. Let's warm up the neck by simply dropping an ear to the shoulder. Slowly take it to the opposite side. 1 more time each side. And again to the left. Chin is level, the head's almost reaching for the back wall, elongating the neck. I want you to turn to the right side of the room. And we slowly turn left. 1 more time each side. And again, left. Bring it to center and we drop chin to the chest. Keeping your lips slightly separated, take your gaze up to the ceiling. 1 more, drop chin to the chest. And as you take your gaze up to the ceiling, just be aware of how far you go. We don't want to feel pain, but hopefully you feel a nice stretch in the front side of your neck. And then let's return to neutral. I'm going to have you come forward, so we're on our hands and knees, and I'll go sideways. Separate your fingers wide. Think about pulling your shoulder blades back and down, and turn the creases of your elbows forward. To do that, one way to think about it is taking your elbows closer together without moving your hands. And I know oftentimes in class, when I ask for this, I see hands turn out. I want you to continue to keep your fingers reaching forward and just pull those elbows closer together. When you're ready, we take a breath in. Exhale, tuck your chin, round the back, push away from the ground. And then let's bring this through. Allow your belly to drop, the tailbone and head come up. Again, going at your own pace and using your breathing pattern. Slow motions. As you round up, really push away from the ground. You should be able to see your thighs. And then again, we simply bring it through. The shoulders are back, tailbone and head come up. Take it to a neutral spine. I want you to extend your right leg behind you. You curl your toes under and simply push the heel back towards the wall. That should feel good in your calf. Go ahead and bend the knee, resting the knee on the floor. Extend the opposite leg. We curl the toes under, press the heel back. Feel it stretch. Some of us might feel it across our heel as well. And relax it. Taking it back to the right leg, we'll begin by pressing the heel back, pushing away from the ground, keeping the neck nice and long. Think about reaching through the crown of the head. When you're ready, raise that leg so the toes are pointing down to the ground. The heel is reaching for the back wall. When you're ready, tap your toes to the floor and then slowly lift the leg, feeling your glute work or your butt up. A breath in through the nose. I like to breathe out through my mouth. Your choice. Give me 2 more. From here, I want you to keep that right leg up. See if you can take that left arm and reach. So I'm pulling on your arm, I'm pulling on the leg, creating length in both the arm and leg. Reach, reach, reach. One more breath. And then we'll place our hand on the mat, knee to the mat. Sit your bum back, reach forward with both arms. Let your head drop. And then we'll bring ourselves back to position. Separate the fingers wide. Creasing the elbows face forward. We push away from the ground. Let your belly just fall to the floor. And on your next breath out, you'll pull the belly button up to the spine, engaging the belly. Let's take the left leg back. Once again, curl the toes under, push the heel back. Square up your hips. And then raise the foot. Our goal is to find length in that leg. The heel is reaching for the back wall. On your next breath in, try tapping the toes. And again, we'll simply lift the leg. Let's tap and lift. I want you to bring the next one up, hold it up. We're reaching for the back wall. And then see if you can take your right arm out, creating length through both sides, reaching to both ends of the room. Our neck is still long, our chin is not tucked. It's that neck space is open and we're pressing away from the ground. Hand to the mat, knee to the mat. This time let's open the knees wide, sit your bums back, and reach forward, allowing the head to drop. Take another full breath here. And while we're here, let's walk our hands to the right side of the room, pressing the left hip out gently. See if you can get that left hand to walk a little closer to the right hand to get more of a pull through the left side. We'll return our hands to center. And then slowly walk your hands to the left. Gently pressing the hip out to the right. And again, see if you can walk your right hand a little closer to the left. And again, let's return to center. We'll finish this off by turning the palms up, reaching with both arms. Turning the palms up helps release the shoulders a bit. Return the palms to mat. Bring yourself up, and I'll have you take one leg through. From here, you'll want to grab a hold of your foam roller. I should have grabbed mine before I started class. So I'm going to have you place it at the foot end of your mat, and we're side lying. Remember, if we have any kind of issues with our shoulder, or maybe you have a neck issue, you could also take a blanket or a towel and prop that up and have your arm extended out to your side instead. Do what's best for you to where you're not feeling any pain. Let's stack our hips, one hip on top of the other. Your bottom leg is going to act like a kickstand, so I want you to bring that leg forward and keep the leg bent. The top leg, we flex our foot, so that means the toes are coming towards the body. And if you're really tight in your hip, you might look down and notice that your toes are pointing up slightly. Think about taking the toes towards the roller and then maybe even tilting the heel up a little bit. Your hip is what's going to be moving. I want you to think about taking this top hip and reaching for that wall that's in front of you. When you do that, you'll feel the belly lift away from the floor. Our bellies are now engaged. I want you to keep that position with the rib cage and the belly, but just the hip. Let's move a little further towards the wall with our foot and then slide that hip back into its socket without falling into the mat. Create a mouse hole underneath you. Here we go. We reach and then pull the hip back into its socket. Heel to the wall and back into its socket. For those of us that have low back pain, this might feel really good in the back. It always does for me. Reach and pull it back in. We'll do 2 more like that. Now reach and hold that position with your hip. Lift your foot just a hair off the roller. We're going to come up another inch with the leg and then lower it down an inch. We lift and lower. So when our hips are stacked like this, it's really important that your leg does not go beyond your hip. That's a lot of compression on the lumbar spine. 2 more. We're going to bring this one up, hold it up, continue to reach. Let's internally rotate that hip so the knee and toe are slightly pointing down to the ground. And then you're going to take knee and toe up, external rotation. Rotate down and then rotate up. You're still reaching and hopefully that hip is getting warm. 2 more. And then from here, go ahead and relax your foot to the roller. Reach for the wall and pull that hip back into its socket. Let's do that one more time. Just reach and pull it in. Allow yourself a breath. And I'm going to have you take this top leg right on top of the bottom leg, making sure that our knees are in line with our hips. I'm going to have you take your tailbone back towards the wall behind you. So now you've created that natural scoop in your low back. And then we're going to take this hip forward a bit. And if you watch your knees, you'll see that knee come past the other one slightly. With our feet stacked and gently pressing together, place your hand on the side of your bum. We're going to go into our clam, but it's important for you to be aware of when this muscle engages. So when you open your leg, as soon as you feel that muscle pop up on the side of your hip, that's all you need. And lower it down. A breath out. And lower it down. 4 more. Just a reminder, your feet are pressing together. If they're relaxed, you might miss out on this. We'll bring this one up and I want you to hold it up And then a tiny little motion. You're going to lift, lift, lift. Make sure you're controlling it. There's no movement in the rest of your body. One more. Lower your knee. Take a breath. Still having our mouse hole underneath us. We're still lifted away from the ground. Our knees are going to be pressing together, and you go into reverse clamp. You lift that foot slightly and down. Now, some of us have a lot of mobility in the hips, and you might be able to get that foot all the way up to the ceiling. My hips are tight. They won't go very far. But if you are able to go all the way up to the ceiling, do a little self-check. Make sure that the body's not moving. Make sure you're not doing this, because you can see as I start to move, now all of a sudden my leg is able to go pretty high up. We're looking for stability. It's just the hip movement. And then relax it down. Once again, take a full breath, let your belly sink. We'll turn over onto our backs. And then I want you to grab hold of your roller. You're going to place it underneath your thighs and just extend the legs. Take your rib cage towards the hips. Keep your neutral spine. We pin our flesh to the roller, kind of like making a sideways number 8. We're going to let our knees and toes fall out to the sides, drag our legs open, and knees and toes rotate back in as we pull our legs together. Again, we can use our hands to tell us if the upper body is moving. The upper body is stable. That's our goal. Just the legs are moving. And then from here, you just relax and wait. Take your fingers to the roller. Push the roller forward a couple of inches. So now you're in the belly of the hamstrings. We pin our flesh, making sure that our backs are still relaxed on the mat. And then just open and close. If you have tight hamstrings, it should feel really good. 2 more. We bring our legs closer together, relax, and take a full breath. Take one foot to the roller, half your knee space, and I want you to go to the top half of your calves. And from here, we'll just do a few knee bends. You can explore the tissue by taking your knees to one side and taking your knees to the other. You're looking for any kind of barriers like speed bumps or knots in the calves. Go ahead and get close to the barrier and just go side to side. Try to stay off of the barrier. Butt up right next to it and create some circles with your ankles, or maybe you like to point and flex. Whatever works, just move the ankles. And then again, we're just going to pause, take a breath. Take a foot to the roller, push it forward just another inch or so, knee bends. Lean a little bit to the left, and then we'll try leaning to the right slightly. We bring it to center and we go side to side. Once again, get close to a barrier and create your ankle movement. And if you notice, I keep going to the left side. That's where a lot of my instability is. And then relax and take a breath. That's why there's so many knots in there. We push the roller forward. We'll take our knees to one side of the room, use that top hand to assist you in coming up. And then we're just going to switch sides. We began by side lying, head on top of the arm, stack the hips. Our bottom leg is our kickstand, our knees in front of our hip. And then our top hip, we want to make sure it's coming forward slightly. We flex the foot, toes to the body, and maybe take a look. Make sure your toes aren't up, they're down. And you can even add a little bit of a heel raise to help you with this. Leading with the hip. Take that leg towards the wall in front of you. Remember, we're looking to feel our belly lift away from the ground. We're going to go just a little bit further, and all you're doing is pulling your hip back into its socket without sinking into the ground. Again, reach, and then pull the hip into its socket. Just a couple more. Let's reach and hold that position. Feel that space between the hip socket and the spine. We raise our leg just a little bit. You're going to come up an inch and down an inch. Lift with a little pause and lower. It's a small motion, but you should feel everything warming up. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Remember, I can't see you, but I know I have to cue it a lot in class. One more time. Bring this one up about hip level. We're going to reach a bit further, and then we work on rotation. Internal rotation of the hip, external rotation of the hip. So this is my tight hip, and I caught myself trying to lean forward. So once again, just a reminder, we want to be aware of that upper body. It's just the hip moving. One more. You can level it out or keep it internally rotated and reach a bit further, and then relax it down. And then we'll just do a couple of them. You're going to reach with the leg resting on the roller, pull that hip back into its socket. Last time, reach and relax it. Try to stay lifted away from the floor. Take that top leg onto the bottom. Remember, our feet are flexed, our knees are in line with our hips. I want you to take your tailbone and kind of press it back to the wall behind you so you feel your natural scoop in the low back. And then we're taking the top half of the hip forward slightly. You'll see the knee past the other. Hand to the side of the leg, gently press your feet together. And when you're ready, you're going to raise the leg into clam until you feel the side of your bum working. And then lower it down. A breath out. And a breath in as you lower. If that breathing pattern doesn't work for you, that's all right. Just switch it up. Just make sure you're breathing with the movement. Just a couple more. We'll bring this one up and we're holding it up. Once again, give me the tiny lifts. Lift. 7. Last one. Relax the knees together. And then you're going to rotate the foot up for a reverse clam. And I caught myself starting to sink into the mat. Make sure you're still lifted. We're looking for that stability in the upper body. So if you're like me and you have a really tight hip, make sure it's the hip doing the work and that you're not cheating yourself by moving your body back and forth. One more. And then we just relax it. So I'm going to have you use that top hand to assist you in coming up to the fun part. We'll take our roller in front of us. We're going to do our adductors, our inner thighs. You come back to your sideline position. So the roller's right in front of my face. I want you to take your hand to the top of the roller. Push the top half of the roller away from you about an arm's length. The bottom half of the roller is closer to your knee. We take our top leg on top of the roller. And I want you to adjust your roller. It's still at an angle, but I want it just above the kneecap. I don't want this hip doing any work. It's already worked. Use your top hand on the mat. Let your belly fall to the floor slightly, and you're going to use that hand to push yourself back to side lying. So your hip is relaxed. Your upper body or your arm is doing the work. One more. Bring yourself back to your side lying position, and I want you to bend your knee and extend the knee. Now, if it's really tender in there, try to back off the pressure a little bit. Go ahead and hold the knee bend, and then we go back into that internal rotation and relax the foot. Foot to the ceiling, foot back to resting. One more time. Now just extend your leg and take a full breath, allowing your thigh to get heavy on the roller.
I want you to push your big toe into the floor so that you can lift your thigh enough to bring the roller about mid inner thigh. Relax your thigh. And again, let your belly fall to the floor. Use your hand to push yourself up to side line. Give me 2 more. That's just my foot on the floor, I swear. Hold yourself up side line, bend the knee, and extend the knee. 2 more. Hold the knee bend, rotate the foot to the ceiling, and then back down. Give me 3 more. And then from here, just extend the leg and take a full breath. I'm going to have you turn so that your belly is facing the floor now. And this may not be comfortable for a lot of us. Big toe into the floor, take your roller down just a little bit. You're going to turn over onto your forearms and elbows. We'll curl the toes under, lift up into a plank position. And then from here, you're using your ankle mobility to rock onto the quad or the front of your thigh. Make sure you're not sinking. Toes are down and you're pushing away from the floor. Yes, you're working a little bit of belly, and that's okay. Go ahead and pause. From here, we're going to lean into it a little bit and back. So you're dragging your flesh back and forth over the roller, going across the muscle fibers. We pause. I want you to try to bend your knee and extend. And if that causes excruciating pain, don't bend your knee. Just pause and wait. And then everybody will just pause, take a breath. Lower your right leg down. You're going to go ahead and bring that roller a little closer to your knee, and we're hitting one more spot. Prop yourself up on your forearms. Use your toes to rock forward and back. And again, this might be really tender for you. Let's pause. Drag your flesh left to right. Pause at the center. Bend and extend the knee a few times. And then just pause and give yourself a breath. And lower your thigh. Push yourself up, and we'll do the same thing opposite side. Lying down on our side, rollers in front of our face. We push the top half away, making sure the bottom half is by our knees. Remember, we want it at an angle. Take your top leg on top of the roller. You're just above your kneecap, and you're going to use that top hand to maneuver yourself. Let your belly fall to the floor. The hip is completely relaxed. Use your hand to bring yourself back to side line. We go to our sideline position. You'll bend your knee and extend. Hold the knee bend. Rotate the foot towards the ceiling and then back down. Give yourself just a couple more. Now extend the leg, take a full breath, and again, on your exhale, let your thigh get heavy on the roller. Push your big toe into the floor so that you can lift your leg enough to bring the roller to mid-thigh, inner thigh. Once again, let your belly fall to the floor. Use that hand to push yourself to side line. Do your absolute best to keep your hip out of it. We're going to take it to our sideline position, bend the knee and extend. And once again, we're at mid inner thigh. Bend your knee, keep the knee bend, rotate the foot towards the ceiling and back down, internal rotation of your hip. And then go ahead and extend the leg, take a full breath. Allow the thigh to get heavy in the roller. And we'll bring our forearms to the mat. Turning the belly to the mat, curl your toes under, lift yourself up. Remember, rib cage towards the hips, and you're going to use your ankle mobility to rock on the roller. Chin is off the chest, gaze forward of your hands. And then from here, just drag your leg left to right, going over the muscle fibers, or possum, I'm sorry. We pause and bend that knee a few times. And then once again, relax the leg, give yourself a couple of breaths. We take our thigh to the floor. I want you to walk yourself up a little bit so we're closer to the knee now. Curl the toes under, we lift and we roll. We pause and you're going to drag your flesh left to right. Pause, bend the knee and extend. And again, let's just take a full breath. Relax your thigh to the mat. You're going to take your roller away. And then from here, we'll grab hold of our belt, hand towel, or the yoga strap. I want you to lie down on the mat. Maybe reach out to both ends of the room before you start. In this position, it's okay for you to allow your back to bridge. Take a full breath. And then lower your arms, adjust your shoulders so that your collarbone is open. We'll bend both legs, press your feet into the ground to lift your hips and adjust the hips. I want you to keep a neutral spine so you feel that natural little scoop in your low back. And our rib cage, some of us, sometimes we pop that rib cage up. I want you to think about pulling the rib cage towards the hips. We're going to take the strap across our left foot. And then from here, I want you to press both hips down into the mat. It's almost like you're taking your tailbone towards the ground a bit, and you'll feel that natural scoop in the low back, keeping our neutral spine. If you have low back issues, I want you to keep your right leg bent, but maybe slide the leg out so you don't have so much flexion in the knee. Otherwise, we're going to slide the leg all the way out. Your left leg, I want you to think about pressing the heel a little higher to the sky. We're going to point through the toes for just a moment. Feel that nice pull in your shin, and then flex the foot. Again, point through the toes and flex. One more. We point. And this time when you flex, I want you to keep the flexion. Think about hip to heel press. If you're a melt person, you've done that on the melt roller. So keeping both hips pressing down into the mat. I want you to bring that leg across the midline of the body just a few inches, but keep that hip down into the mat. A lot of us will feel a pull from hip to knee or hip, knee, ankle, and it'll definitely behind the knee. Now start to bring that leg all the way across to where you feel a better stretch. And at this point, it's okay to lift your hip. This is a good one for our runners. I want you to bring your leg back to center. Let's switch hands. Now your left hand is on the strap, and you're going to bring the leg across the body. For me, I like to press my right hand down onto the hip. Both hips stay down on the mat, and you're only going to the position that you can keep the leg long and you can keep this hip down. So if you feel like you're kind of in this position, that's probably too far, and you're not getting any more out of that stretch. With control, you'll bring your leg back to center. And before I let you release this leg, I want you to once again press the hips down into the mat. See if you can bring that leg any higher without tucking the pelvis. If you're not sure what I mean, that's tucking the pelvis. just keep everything down. And then from here, we'll just soften the knee. We can take the opposite foot on. Our left foot is on the floor, right leg up to the air or up to the sky. Again, low back issues, you're going to slide your left leg out just a little bit. Otherwise, slide it all the way out and glue it to the mat. Press from hip to heel up to the ceiling. So I want your leg as long as you can get it, but don't lock that knee. I want the knee soft. And if you kind of look at your leg and you see this, then maybe bring your leg a little closer to the ground. Again, lengthen the leg. While we have this here, we're pressing both hips into the mat, the back of your hips. Point through the toes, forgot about that, sorry. And then flex. Again, point, shoulders relax away from our ears, and flex. Last time here, feel the stretch in your shin, and then flex. You'll keep your flexion. We take our left hand to the strap. Once again, keeping the right hip glued to the ground, you're going to start to cross midline. Just go to the point that you feel a stretch on the side of the leg and that you can still keep your hip down on the back. And then slowly let the leg go further. And at this point, it's okay for the hip to lift. Maybe think about engaging the top of your thigh, your quadricep muscle. If we can engage one muscle, the opposing muscles normally should relax. Slow to center. We'll switch hands, right hand on the strap. Both hips are pressing down. Again, I like to press my hand into the hip bone as I start to drop my other leg. It's a good tactile response. Well, it tells us if we're starting to do this. We want to keep that hip down and open the opposite side. When you're ready, we'll return our leg to center. And once again, before we release it, press both hips down, press the heel a little higher in the sky, so you can come in a little closer to the body without lifting your pelvis. And then we'll bend the knee and take the strap off. Take both knees into your chest. Give yourself a handful of circles. Let's reverse the circles. We can separate our legs wide, resting the elbows on the mat. Take your tailbone towards the ground. You'll feel the low back scoop away. And then just tuck the pelvis, pulling the knees in a little closer. One more time, pressing the tailbone towards the ground. And again, just let your knees come in closer and let it tuck. Stay here, press your tailbone towards the ground. Make a T with your arms and take both knees to one side of the room. Turn your gaze away. You can even take the hand and gently press under the thigh. Your hand will be a little closer to the knee. And as you do that, think about pushing the opposite shoulder into the mat. We engage our bellies and lift the top leg. Allow the bottom leg to follow. Both knees come into the chest. And then once again, keeping your knees close to the chest, make a T with your arms. Allow the knees to fall to the opposite side of the room. Our gaze is away from the legs. And maybe add that hand to the thigh to add a little bit more pressure, a little bit more of a stretch. Making sure that both shoulders stay down in the mat. Again, we'll engage our bellies. Lift the top leg and then the bottom. Hugging the knees into the chest. I prefer to place my hands behind the thighs so I'm not stressing my knees, but do what's best for you. I want you to slowly tuck your chin and then pull your head towards the knees and take a breath. Relaxing the shoulders and then the head to the mat. Let's do that one more time. We tuck our chin. And when you're ready, peel the head and upper back off the mat, hugging the knees into the chest, creating a ball with the body. Slowly relaxing the shoulders and head to the mat. We'll place each foot on the floor, rocking the hips side to side for just a moment. And then I'll have you extend each leg. And once again, let's reach to both ends of the room. One more breath. Relax your arms to the sides. Open up your legs a little wider than hip distance apart, allowing your knees and toes to fall to the sides. And I encourage you to close your eyes, quiet your mind. Give yourself permission to take a minute or two to think of only you and your body relaxing. Let's be intentional about your relaxation. Take a moment to think of the facial features. Even though you're relaxing and resting, do you find that you're still holding those frown lines tight? Relaxing. Are you clenching your jaw at all? Maybe separate the lips a bit. Even though we're resting on the mat, just notice, be aware. Do you still have your shoulders hunched up or like reaching for the ears? If so, relax them down and away. Allow your belly to rise and fall a couple of times. Breathing fully into the diaphragm. And as you exhale, let your body sink into the mat a bit more. Notice as you become more comfortable and more relaxed, how the fingers slightly bend. The knees and toes seem to drop out to the sides a little bit more. Just simply be just a moment longer. I'll have you slowly take a wiggle on the fingers and the toes. Maybe take your arms overhead once again and reach in. Slide each leg into a bent position and roll your upper body in the same direction as your knees, resting your head on the bottom arm. Give yourself a couple more breaths. And then when you're ready, I want you to use your top hand to assist you in coming up to a seated position. And once you come up, we'll cross the legs in front of us. I'll have you sit up tall. Let's just finish with a few breaths today. Take your arms to the sides with the palms facing up. As you inhale, reach up to the ceiling, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Gently press the heels of the hands together. Let's reach. Exhale, palms down as if you're pushing something into the ground. We turn the palms up on our inhale, reaching up. Once again, our hands meet. We lower our hands to heart center. And slowly reach up on the inhale. Exhale, palms down as you press into the ground.
reaching for the sides of the room, simply drop an ear to the shoulder, close your eyes and take a breath. Let's turn our chin to that same shoulder. And then keeping your chin close to the chest, just let your head fall to center. Let's raise the head, dropping the opposite ear to the shoulder. Once again, we take chin to the shoulder. And then just let your chin fall to center. Take a breath. And then raise the head. One more time. Full breath in. Our hands come in. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. I can't just wait to see everybody in person. It's not easy teaching to myself. As always, please send me your feedback. If I'm not cueing properly, I get it. We know me. Share that with me. If there's something that you need, or maybe you're suffering from neck pain and I'm focusing on low body, share that and I will change it. Hopefully we'll be done and I'll be able to see you in person soon. Love you guys. Have a good day. Bye-bye.